So I've been working on this leg assembly here, and I was able to fashion something like this for the knee area. Looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. My God, a little bit of glue must have fell off someplace. Where the hell did this come from? Better not be the Loctite one. Oh, doesn't matter. Things will be sanded down and shaved off a bit here and there. And I wanted to show you, yeah, this thing came off. I've got to re-glue it again. So that's how it looks in the back. And I also put some detail parts here using MS Thruster 01 by the Builder Parts. I went to Gunpla and bought a bunch of things to put on this kit, and I'll show them off later on, bit by bit. But I kind of liked how this came out with this design. I'm going to probably put more stuff around it. I got to still figure out this yet. I have an idea, just haven't fleshed it out yet, so I'll get to that soon. While that was happening, I put a peg here, glued it on, and then I put this little thruster here to add it as a side booster thruster. Go up and down like that. Now, moving on to the forward part of the leg, I really did not like how the front part was of the structure to hold up the front leg, because it was so much plastic I put in there that I was thinking maybe I should put something on it or around it, but I knew that it was going to be a little bit bulkier and all that stuff, and putting this part on under it didn't look right. Didn't look right at all. So I removed it, began shaving it down to the point that it looks like this. And as you can see, this part came out good. Sanded it down, looks good right there. But this part, I was saying to myself, what can I put here? And excuse me, excuse me, a lot of dust here. So I bought some other parts. I bought the MS Claws. I think it's called Claw. No, it's called MS Ground 01, which has this little GN drive-like thing, which is basically the support for the claws. It comes with these little pegs. But I like this. And originally, this was supposed to be a side skirt armor, a side skirt part, because I'm not fond of how the skirt is going to look. But I decided I said, no, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to put it right under here. And then I'll put something around here to conform it. But it fits perfectly there. It aligns properly. I'm going to put something there. I'm going to put something there around it, and that will be perfect as a thruster type vent. Not like a thruster, more like a vent type thing. But I think this came out pretty. This looks good in that aspect. So I'm just waiting. I'm going to flush it out a bit, figure out what parts I'm going to put around the sides before I permanently glue it. And I'm only gluing this part. This part I'm going to remove, as you can see, so I can paint it separate. I'm just leaving it there for visual reasons. Oh, so that's where the glue comes from. It's from there. Alright, fair enough. So I got it both done. The front legs is another big issue that was worrying me, and I had a hard time looking for this part. I was like, I had one of them, I couldn't find the other, and I finally found it. I had to tear my room apart again. And this was perfect for the knee. Now, let's demonstrate this. Put that there, the ball joint. Get it in there. Then we get this. Put that here. So it's aligned up properly. And there you go. There you go. It may not go all the way front or back, but I think this should be fine, because to tell you the truth, I'm not thinking of any type of posability other than it being in that specific angle. I don't want to be all the way front, but I don't want all the way back. I have no idea how that's going to work out, but we're going to leave it the way it is for now until I put something around there to cover the ball joint. And I think being there, it's not going to be a big problem. I may put something like a little plot plate there. Who knows? Moving on with this, I was trying to also figure out what am I going to put up here. And the one part that I was thinking about using, again, let me pull it out here, hold on. Putting this back there again. And clearly I can't do it because this thing's jamming up. I will definitely have to cut this whole, maybe cut this whole thing to the side, put it to the side there, or maybe cut it all the way up to there, make a design. I don't know. I was thinking about that. But then again, my mind began to wander. And I tried something that I don't know if this will work or not. Using these evergreen plastic tubes, and you have to forgive me, I think this tube is at hold on, I gotta check out the measurements here. It's half an inch. It's a half an inch diameter tube. I was looking at this, and I was actually kind of inspired by one of the guys who did my contest. So what I did was I cut half an inch tubes. I cut them in half. And I began to play with it a bit. One goes here, and one goes there. And I also had another set of tubes here which I was supposed to cut and I forgot. Let me do this right now. Let me just align it here. Using the blade on my cutting board and just eyeball it a bit. I cut various versions and sizes just so I can test it out and see how it fleshes out in my head. Wait a minute a second here. I think the idea came from not only that person who sent me, who did the video, or sorry, did the his custom, but it was more like along the line of a samurai type of armor, layer upon layer. So, I was thinking of putting that here. That, then putting this one over there. And taking this one, merging that here. And giving it that way. That's an idea. Or do it this way. Kind of like this way better. Because then it's a layer upon layer effect. And the third one goes, the last one goes here. Now, I'm going to detail it in a way where, obviously this part looks okay here at the edges, like here where it cuts, or where it bends. I'm going to see if I can probably find a way to get that like that. Maybe widen it a bit, I don't know. But then there'll be parts where I'm going to be cutting to the edges around, you know, cutting there, cutting there, cutting there. Then putting a thin layer of styrene sheet, which I don't see. I put them to the side here. As a matter of fact, no, there it is. No. Oh, right. There. This could be good. Yeah. So using these thin styrene sheets to give it like a little bit of a line, you know, an extra layer along the leading edges. I can give it a samurai type armor like that. And I do have extra like plastic parts here. I had one here that I was finagling with for a long time, trying to find out whether it should work with this. But I have such a mess here. I don't even know where I put it. Oh, you know what? This idea would be great, like putting this one there. Maybe that. Oh, Hold on. So I have only 2 of these. I don't have 4. Don't think that will work with this here. Oh, I think, is that it? No, that ain't it. Here. Darn it, where did I put it? I put a lot of stuff to the side, saying to myself, try that. It's also getting hot in here. Alright, never mind. You guys get the idea what I'm planning, what I'm doing. So I'm going to flesh this out for the front and the back. The back area, I have an extra plate here. We'll definitely, utilize this for only 1 layer here. I'm going to see how this comes out, how it conforms, and then we'll work from there. Okay, so with everything I'm doing right now with the customization of this kit and trying out new ideas and things like that, there is one part of this kit that we haven't had the opportunity to focus on, and that is this guy, the actual stand itself. Now, as I mentioned many times before, it's going to support the actual kit, and it's going to be the basis for it to be standing up, standing up at the show. And actually, to tell you the truth, this one's actually positioned wrong. It hasn't popped out and pushed over here like that, so it's in a nice position like that. And that's what I was going to use. I could have used any other stands. I could have used the action-based 2 stands, but I prefer this one because there's that part in the back of the kit where it supports it and holds it in. Now, we've already seen how it is back heavy and it does tilt back, but I'm going to do something to compensate that. I'm going to make a base around it, like a rocky base type structure down here to simulate it running on the ground or preparing to charge or whatever. And for that, I am going to use this product. This is called Mold a Scene Plaster, Sculpting Plaster, by Woodland Scenics. Scenic, I guess. I picked this sculpting material, plaster material, a long time ago. And for those of you who don't remember, but I'm assuming some of you will, it was what I used when I made my first diorama build. When I entered the New York City Comic Con, I believe that was back in 2012, maybe 2000, not 2013, because I won 2013. Did I win 2013? I forgot. Yeah, I did, 13. But I believe it was in 12 when I did the diorama. And it was my first attempt at doing something like that. I had no clue what I was doing back then. But I just used what I had or the knowledge that I gained building the kits, and then of course making my diorama. Didn't realize that of course this is not something you can build within a month or 2 or whatever, so that was my fault. Anyway, but I still have this product. It's still here. And all I need to do is, if I read the instruction correctly, mix using a clean bowl and utensils. Do not wash product down the drain. Turn carton upside down and shake it for 30 seconds. Dry the carton. Add 1 level cup of sculpting plaster into 3 ounces of water. Knead thoroughly. Basically, it's like basically you're kneading bread to make a pizza or dough or whatever. But instead, I'm using this, and I'm going to use this as the basis. Now, I have a piece of cardboard that I'm going to use for this. And I'm going to mold everything here, but I'm going to make sure it's all conformed in this area. So this is definitely going to add some weight with the water and all that stuff. The bottom part, I'm going to use the magnets that I have because they're a little heavy, and put it back here to give it a little bit more, heaviness, you could say, to be more stable, because I don't want this thing to fall around. And I'm going to use the cardboard. I'm going to see what I have to mold a scale or a size where I can put the cardboard under it, then put the plaster over it, let it dry, and we'll see how it looks. So Give me a few moments. I'm going to take this away because I'm going to have to do this in the kitchen. And I'll be right back. So I made this layer of plastic, as you can see here, using the plow plate and using a little bit of a design here. So it looks like something like that. Kind of like a shin guard type, samurai layer armor type thing. With the trim using oh, I just keep putting things away. Where the hell is it? Well, it's a styrene sheet that has a curvature. It's like a half circle. That if you see it right there. Damn it! I thought I put that here somewhere. Maybe it's yeah, this one right here. Using this half round. This is 0.15 millimeter. This is actually great for covering gaps or connections, I could say. And I used it on this one for this leg. I don't know, the light doesn't, it's so white here that you could barely see the contrast. Let me see if I can put my hand here. And yeah, alright, now it should be a lot better. It's nice, it's cool. I could put some stuff around it here, wires. But for whatever odd reason, even though I thought this looks like a cool idea, and maybe you guys are probably saying yay, I know quite a few of you are probably saying nay. And I have to agree. Nay on my part. So as much as I like how this turned out, it's not something I'm going to be using. Oh, by the way, let me put this on here because I forgot. Instead, I'm going to try something different. Oh, and I put a thruster here so you guys can see. What I did was I took some plow plate, some styrene sheet. I took the thicker one, the actually, what is the millimeters on this? I always keep forgetting. I'll do it again. So I took this piece here. This is not inches. Give me millimeters. Thank you. This is 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter styrene sheet. Is that correct? Let me make sure. Let me go to 0 here. Don't know if the battery is running out. Let me just put that to 0 again. Alright, now we just pull it back a bit. And then we close it up a bit. That's 2.3 meters, maybe millimeters, maybe 2.1. It's thick. It's a thick piece of plastic. To me, I thought it was 3, but alright, so it's 2 millimeters. Alright. So I used a 2 millimeter sheet, and I used this sheet here, which is technically 0.3 millimeters, but I think this is maybe 0.5. I took 2 of these. Well, basically I used those 2, and I made this. Using the thicker part for the front, and then I took 2 sheets, glued them together, sand them down, even them out to look like that. So that would go right here, like that. This gives me a lot of space here to put some stuff around here, maybe here. Clearly put something here. I don't know yet. I have an idea, but I have to figure out if it works out for me. Then, remember these parts? What I did was I sanded this down, cut the top, evened it out, remove the inside, so it goes on like this. So if I put that like that flush, once it's glued like that, and I put in this like that, it will look like this. Now, there's a little bit of extra styrene sheet there, which I'm going to shave off soon. And I have this part here, which I'm going to snip off. Actually, I'll do that right now. Let's give it a nice sanding. And then we'll just apply it like that. There we go. This will act as a bridge between these two parts. I'm going to see if I can, once I clean the edges there, and I'm going to sand down the front so it's nice and flush. Once I'm comfortable with that, then I'll just glue these on together, and then if they stick together like so without me gluing them onto the part, I want to keep them separate, so that way when I finish painting them, then I'll just slap them on right there and glue them on. But I think this is the best idea for the front armor of this kit. Not this. This was a great idea, but I consider it kind of like a cheapy, no, not cheapy, like an easy way to do this for first timers. And yeah, me would be first timing, you could say. I'm still maybe gonna change that. Kind of like this exhaust here. Maybe I should put that here. Maybe I should put that there. Something like that. I'll have to flesh that out a bit. What do you guys think? I think I'll get the leg armor done. Oh, that's right. So with this being done, and now I need to focus on this one. I'm going to probably do the same thing like I did with this to here. And we'll figure out the side armor parts that I just mentioned before. So we're almost done with these legs. There it is. My stand for the Chimaris is complete. I don't know. This plaster thing does say that, well, before I go into, what I did was, I put the whole base on top of the cardboard. I glued it on. After I glued it on, I poured the plaster in a bowl, mixed it with water, began to knead it and, form it. I pretty much used the whole thing. And then I just plopped it there and began to spread and then collect and bring it up as best as I possibly can to at this point, as you can see here. It's still slightly dry, but it's almost been, it says here to let it cure for 24 hours. It's been now roughly 18 or so, but by, another day or so, this thing will be still good. I could still probably mold it and shape it if I want to. Maybe putting the cardboard is not a good idea. I'm going to have to look into getting myself like a piece of wood, maybe quarter inch in thickness, in the size that's like this, and then just cut out the edges of this. Maybe get more plaster. I think I may have to get more plaster just so I can cover this cardboard because it looks stupid. But that's something I can work on. I can go to Home Depot and get myself a piece of wood for this. But it's what I was looking into getting. It is solid. It has a definite heft to it and good weight, good balance. I want to see if this actually would fit this. So let's do a little testing here. Now the whole purpose of this part here to this is because I want the legs to hit in the back and add it as a support. does, but looks good. Just wished it was maybe a good, maybe half an inch higher. And maybe putting all this back here was not a good idea. Well, for one thing for certain, that's hell not going to be tipping over anytime soon. I haven't even placed the front legs yet, because the front legs are supposed to stick out like a, a little, like that. Still working on those, so I don't want to put them on yet. But yeah, I think it's good. I think it's real good, if I do say so myself. Yeah, this looks good. Just, I want to wait until it dries. Then that way I'm going to put it to the side. Continue on with the kit. So I'm almost done with the legs. I'm almost done. I need to put something. So let's do a rough check here. So right now, front legs need to be excuse me. The front legs need to be done. Armored up, fine. Don't know if I'm going to put armor here. I'm considering it. Don't know yet. Need to put something in here. Get some of the metal tubing under there. Fine. Just going to do a rough check here in this area. Maybe I need to put a little detail along the side of this armor. Fine. The back arms, a little bit more detailing. Fine. The one thing that I'm more getting a little bit annoyed is the fact that I don't think I'm going to be able to find a... Well, actually, let me just bring this up a bit. That plate that I thought I was going to put here, because of the wiring, it actually holds it back, and maybe it's good like this, but I need to find something to connect the battery to, or where to put the battery to. I may have to jury rig something that goes under the backpack to hold the battery into place and put a switch. I totally miscalculated the idea of doing this, but where there's a will, there's a way. We're going to figure this out. Then finish up the detail here on the back of the skirt, especially the two little holes back here. That needs to be done. And then once I'm done with that, then we move on to the weapons. I need to start working on the lance and another weapon which I'm going to put on this arm. The shield needs to be worked on, and then once I'm comfortable with everything, we'll do a final look and see how this kit will look like. But we are technically, I'm going to say at this point in time, 75% done. I'm hoping that when I reach the 80 to 85% done, the only thing I have to do is paint it and whatever other decals or details I have to put in. Many people have been asking me what paint job I want to do. I'd rather not say it right now because I have no clue yet. Once I have the clue, you guys will know. So yes, I'm going. We're going. We're doing this. We're moving on. I'm nervous, but that's part of the, that's part of this deal. To be nervous, to make mistakes, to figure out how to fix these mistakes, and just to improvise. So let's continue on.